Howdy everyone! For today's Jolly Lark, we've got an exciting package from one of our favorite hobby accessory companies, Tajima1. They're a UK-based company that makes grass tufts and other scenic accessories. And we've just gotten a nice big package from them with a full restock of stuff for a couple of upcoming army projects. These arrived from the UK with relatively quick shipping. Box got a little bit dinged up in transit, but that doesn't matter at all because these are grass tufts. And you see this a nice big stack. You actually get a little free gift from them. You get some green grass tufts from Tajima1 whenever you order. Well, got the website there on the flyer that it comes with, and I'll put it down in the description too. So I thought we could just kind of go through these. A lot of people aren't familiar with these. When I bring armies down to the local game shop, often get questions about how I do the bases, and the Tajima1 grass tufts are a big part. So the wild grass comes free when you order 5 or more packs. It's a super useful, versatile color. So here we got the brown. I use this for any dead grass, wintry stuff. I often like to mix 1 or 2 of these in with other colors. And so I got a multi-pack. It comes with 3 different strips, which are 3 different heights. So we've got kind of a short, medium, and tall. I think they can mix and match those. Super useful color. I'm not sure I'd do an army with all nothing but brown static grass. It might be a little dull, but it's really a great accent color. More wild grass, that's the same green that we saw earlier. I ordered a bunch of those in different sizes and configurations. We've got a couple boxes of gold. Now, for my money, this is the most versatile color. It's kind of a yellowy green. It looks great in desert bases. It looks good, on cracked earth. It looks great on winter bases underneath some snow. And you can see I got a bunch of the gold. That's my most used color. I wanted to stock up on that. I did get a couple of different sizes. I got some of the mixed packs like we saw with the mixed length brown. I also tried some of the XL gold, which is even taller than the tall tufts that come in the mixed pack. This is a little bit more of a specialty grass tufts, I would think. I'll probably use those on some larger bases, dragons, that sort of thing. Look at the mixed pack here with the 3 different sizes. Those are the same variety that the brown came with. It says mix on the sides. And those tall tufts are even taller than the large ones in there. Tajima also has another nice color called a Battlefield Mix. Got a couple of boxes of those, some different sizes. And what the Battlefield Mix is, it's a still green, but there's just a little more red and brown blended in. Let's focus in a little closer there. This is just a really great mix of greens and browns. That's a versatile color that alongside gold will probably do a lot of your grass tuft work on your bases for you. So that's how they come. Well packed, well shipped. They arrived reasonably quickly going from the UK to the US. Okay, so I thought it would be useful to compare a little side by side with some of the other grass tufts that I've got in my collection from a couple other companies. Not pictured here are the Citadel grass tufts because they don't look that great and are twice the price of all of these. There's differences in how dense they are, how many tufts you get per square inch. We're not going to go into exacting details here, but we can lay them side by side and give you a sense of one next to the other. First up, we've got the Tajima tufts that we've been talking about today. So you can get kind of side by side, kind of get a sense of how much comes in each set. These are 2 different packs from Gamer Grass. This seems to be the size sheet that they come with. These are 2 of theirs that I really like a lot too. They're much taller. See, those are nice and thick. And Tajima makes thicker ones too. But these are just really to get a sense of the sheets. So as you can see, you're getting about half as much Gamer's Grass per package as you're getting from Tajima. Gamer's Grass offers a wide variety of things that Tajima doesn't sell. I still feel like it's been worth picking up some of those, but I think the Tajima wins on value there. If you're ordering in the UK and not paying for international shipping, probably even better. And then another company I've used tufts from in the past is Army Painter. Again, because they've got some colors that other people don't make, and I used this kind of dead gray grass on my Necrons, which I liked a lot. But definitely not as good a value as Tajima. I think their Tufts are a little denser compared to the Tajimas, but definitely a much smaller sheet. And all of these in the US run about $6 or $7 a pack, depending on where you're getting them and shipping and that sort of thing. So pick your poison. There's tons of different colors out there. There's a lot to choose from, and they're really all fun to play around with and experiment. I wanted to show you two other things that are in my basing collection that I think are really cool, that are also from Tajima1, but weren't in this order that I just picked up. So on here, we've got the flower tufts. I use these to good effect on my giants. You can check those out in this video too. I've already obviously used a good bit of these, but they come in a 4-pack of different colors, which is great for variety's sake. They look good alongside Tajima's other grass tufts. And I really like the idea of big scary giants stomping through the flowers. I think it's a nice way to add a little pop of color on your giants and or any destruction army or any chaotic army. Just big fan of those. And then these are the diorama elements. These are larger pieces that are each clump is self-adhesive, just like the other grass tufts, and is a mixture of different textures and colors. These work well on larger bases. I think I may use these on my upcoming Stormcast Dragons that I'm working on, in combination with some of the greens and browns that we looked at from the order. Let's take a closer look at these. These are really interesting. It's a mixture of heights and colors. There's a lot of uses for these. You get fewer clumps, but you can see I've sliced through this here with a hobby knife in the past. You can cut these clumps up and just use parts of them. You don't have to wait for a base that's big enough to hold this whole thing, but also highly recommended. Big thumbs up. Okay, so to wrap things up, I thought I'd grab a squad of Freeguild handgunners that I've recently painted up that have not had any tufts added yet. Open up a bunch of these boxes that I just received, and for anybody who hasn't ever used these before, show you how quick and easy it is to finish off a squad of minis with these. I've got some of the gold, I've got some of the battlefield mix, a little bit of brown off to the side, and I'll kind of mix and match colors and sizes as we go, and finish off the squad, get them ready for the table. I like these little curved tweezers that I'm using here. They're nice and pointy. The little points are sturdy enough. You can kind of just grab the grass tufts off the sheet with them, and then use the pokey bits of the tweezers just to give them a little push. Tajima1 tufts are self-adhesive. I've been using these for years. I've never used any super glue with them. I never use any other glue really. And I've also never had one fall off. I don't end up with static grass all over my miniatures. The glue they use, I think, is better than any of the other companies' glues that I've ever tried. I like a lot of like the colors that Army Painter has, but when I'm using Army Painter grass tufts, I always use a teeny little dot of super glue. Gamer's Grass, I think, is somewhere in the middle, but I think Tajima1 has the best adhesives of any of the grass tufts that I've tried. Now, if you got a favorite brand of grass tufts that you've used that I haven't mentioned in the video, I'm always curious to try new stuff. Let me know down in the comments. And so you just kind of look around. With the taller grass tufts, I usually try to find a bigger spot for them. Obviously, I don't necessarily like to put them right next to the model's feet because I think that can look a little weird and you want to show off your paint jobs. It's a good illustration of, in the mixed pack, the different sizes that you're getting. So you've got from left to right there, the short, the medium, and the large. They're all from the same mixed pack. So even with just one box of these, you're probably getting enough tufts to do almost an entire army just from one box if you wanted to. Another thing that grass tufts are great for, this is true of any, not just from Tajima1, but is fixing mistakes. You can see a little spot next to the foot here, just that I missed with some gravel. Just grab a little short grass tuft, stick it in there, give it a quick press, you're good to go. Grab a different color here. This is from one of the irregularly sized packs. So it's kind of more of a blob, kind of blobby jelly bean shape instead of a kidney. Stick that behind. There you go. And, don't be afraid to, if that's what you're looking for, to go kind of tufty on the bases. I think for this Cities of Sigmar army, I'm going to, put 2 to 4 tufts on each base. Kind of give them a grasslands look. The sand that they're going on top of is just been painted brown with a quick dry brush. That's a relatively quick way to get your bases done quickly. And, you know, if you're playing with fully painted models and haven't based your minis yet, I really encourage you to give these a go. I mean, it does not add very much time per miniature. And, you know, like the saying goes, you know, faces and bases, getting your bases finished, I really think that's an important part of finishing your miniatures. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of spray painted, half done bases, these grass tufts are really an easy way to finish off a project. So I've been kind of slow and careful here, talking about it while I'm doing it, but let's refocus in here and kind of just bang through a couple of these. If I wasn't recording this as I was doing it, you could probably finish off the gravelly bases with grass tufts in all of about 2 minutes. I'm going to try to pick up a little speed here and show you really just how quick this can be. You just grab a tuft, put it on, grab a tuft, put it on, mix and match sizes. I kind of make a little game for myself and try to have a different combination of tufts, you know, different combination of heights and colors on every model in the unit. So all in all, highly recommended. Like I said, I've been using these Tajima tufts for well over 3 or 4 years on a variety of different projects, and I really just can't recommend them highly enough. They'll ship just 1 or 2 boxes to you. The shipping scales with the size of your order. So you're not going to get, if you're in the US at least, you're not going to get hit with a huge shipping charge if you just want to give them a whirl. Actually, you know, let's try those big XL tufts that I pulled out before. Let's try those on a 25 millimeter base on a regular human size mini. I'll give you a good sense of just how big these things are. So we'll grab a mini that doesn't have any tufts, and all right, so that is that's some shrubbery right there. That is quite large compared to the other ones I was using in the squad, and I do not love how that looks on a giant like this one here. For my Sons of Behemoth army, big tufts look great. The more the better. But if you don't like how it looks, just yank it right off. As strong as the adhesive on these are, it's really easy to just pull them off. A little bit of pressure and they come right off, but they don't fall off on their own. So grab some larger tufts if you're doing larger models. But for, you know, regular 25, 28, 32 millimeter bases, I do not think you need the big giant tufts for those. Now, I think these look great for fantasy, but they look great on sci-fi models too. These are a perfect match for a blasted battlefield sort of look. 40K minis, any sort of sci-fi minis, all these tufts work great for those too. So just a little grass tufting advice as I pick up my torchbearer here, using torches instead of standards for the Cities of Sigmar army, is, you know, especially on characterful models, on your champions, your standard bearers, you want the tufts to accent your miniatures, not to be the focal point. So as a general rule, I use fewer tufts on miniatures where I want your attention to be on the miniature, not on the base. So for on that torchbearer there, on this unit champion, maybe I'll go a little more sparingly on the tufts and not have big bushy shrubbery on the base be distracting from the miniature itself, like so. So it doesn't mean you can't use a fair number of them, but I generally try to keep the tufts shorter on miniatures that are a little more attention getting. That's it. Let's wrap up this unit, wrap up the video, and thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all of our subscribers. We'd love to have you. If you want to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and we will see you next time for another Jolly Lark.